Hi, welcome to my video on the product of monomial and binomial radicals. That's the square root radicals. Recall. 2 times 3x plus 5. 2 is being distributed over the 3x and the 5. So 2 times 3x is 6x. And 2 times plus 5 is plus 10. Negative 4x times 5x minus 3. Negative 4x times 5x is a negative 20x squared. And a negative 4x times negative 3 is a positive 12x. So notice the monomial is being distributed over the binomial on the inside. This is the same as we do with radicals. Simplify each. An example, 3 times 2, 6. 3 times root 5 is 3 root 5. Root 2 times 4 is 4 root 2. Root 2 times root 3 is root 6. C. Root 3 times root 2 plus root 3. Root 3 times root 2, root 6. And root 3 times root 3, which gives you root 9, we know that you get a 3. Any root, square root multiplied by itself, gives you what's underneath the root. And 2 root 5 times 3 root 5. 2 times 3 is 6. And root 5 times root 5 is 5. And that gives thee 30 altogether. And 2 root 5 times 6 is a negative 12 root 5. So it's fully simplified. You can't subtract these because they're not like terms. You can't add these because they're not like terms, like radicals. And this is a radical, and this is a rational number, an integer, so you can't add either. Number 3, root 6 times root 2 is root 12. Root 6 times root 3 is a negative root 18. Now that we have it multiplied, we have to check to make sure to simplify. So 12 is 4 times 3. So that's a 2 root 3. 18 is 9 times 2. So the square root of 9 is 3 root 2. And again, you can't subtract these because they're not like radicals. F, 3 root 10 times 2 root 5. When we multiply, we get 6 root 50. And 3 root 10 times 3 root 2 is a positive 9 root 20. And again, excuse me, we have to simplify the radical. So 50 is 25 times 2. So that's 6 times, square root of 25 is a 5, and we get a root 2 plus 9. 20 is 4 times 5. So the root of 20, square root of 4 is 2, root 5. Now we multiply before we add by BEDMAS, PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S, whereas the brackets are fully simplified inside of here. There's no exponents, so we're going to multiply these two before we add. So that's 30 root 2 plus 2 9s are 18 root 5. And you can't add these because they're not like radicals. So practice means pause the video, work out each of these answers, and check it, play it back to see if you're right. Here we go. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times root 7 is 2 root 7. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. Negative 3 times negative root 6 is a positive 3 root 6. And again, you can't add these because they're not like radicals. That would have to be a root 7 to add to this. And the negative 12 would have to be a root 6 right here to add to this one, but we can't. Number 3, root 5 times negative 4. That's a negative 4 root 5. Now we're going to multiply 2 root 5 by 2 root 5. So that gives me 2. You could say it gives me 2. And because that's a 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Root 5 times root 5 is 5. So altogether, when you simplify, you get a 10. So notice 2 root 2 times root 5 right here times 2 root 5 is 2 root 25, which is 2 times 5 gives you the 10. And you can't add these because they're not like radicals. And here we go again. Negative 3 root 2 times root 2. Well, let's see. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Root 2 times root 2 is 2, so that's a negative 6. Negative times a negative is a positive. And 3 times 4 is 12. And root 2 times root 5 is root 10. So that's a 12 root 10. And root 10 can't simplify any further, so there's the final answer. Number 5, root 15 times root 3 is the root of 45. Plus root 15 times root 5 is the root of 75. 45 is 9 times 5, so that's a 3 root 5. And 75 is 25 times 3, so that's 5 root 3. And you can't add these because they're not like radicals. And number 6, negative 3 times root 8. Probably we should obey PEMDAS because notice we got an 8 and an 18. They might be simplified. So let's see if we can simplify these first. Makes it easier. So root 8 is 4 times 2. So that's 2 root 2. Root 18 is 9 times 2. So that's a 3 root 2. If you notice, they're like terms. So 2 plus 3 is 5. When we add, we keep the radical root 2. And 2 and 3 makes 5 root 2. Multiply, negative 15 root 2. And let's continue with more practice. Number 7, negative 3 root 2 times negative root 10. When we multiply those two, we get a positive 3 root 20. And a negative 3 root 2 times positive 5 root 6 is a negative 15 root 12. And root 20 has a 4 times a 5. So that's a negative 3. Root 20 becomes 2 root 5. Square root of 4 is 2. 5 stays in. And 12 has a 4 times 3. So the root of 12, square root of 4 is 2 root 3. And now we multiply. We get a negative 6 root 5 and a negative 30 root 3. And we can't add these because they're not like radicals. More practice. Obey the order of operations. The order of operations is P, E, M, D, A, S. Or some people might bed math B, E, D, M, A, S. Either or. But this one means brackets and parentheses. This is exponents, multiplication, division, left to right, addition, subtraction. So, to simplify these, I have to multiply this one and this one first and then add and subtract after. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times root 5 is 2 root 5. Positive 3 times 5 is 15. And 3 times 2 root 5 is positive 6 root 5. And we group our like terms, so 6 plus 15 and 2 root 5, add on 6 root 5. And now they're like, so we got a 21 plus an 8 root 5. Grouping these together, notice if you didn't want to write this step, you could just say 6 plus 15 is 21 and then add these two to get the 8 root 5 without going to this. But when you get a lot of terms, it's best to group them so you won't make a mistake. Number 2, root 2 times 3 is 3 root 2. Root 2 times root 2 is the root of 4, which is a 2. And negative 3 root 2 is negative 3, and root 2 times root 2 is 2, so that gives me negative 6. And And negative 3 root 2 times negative 1 is a positive 3 root 2. And we group our like terms, so 2 subtract 6 plus 3 root 2 plus 3 root 2. And that gives me negative 4. 3 plus 3 is 6 root 2. More practice. Notice the binomial times the monomial times the binomial. So we'll multiply these two and these two according to PEMDAS. We can't add or subtract these. They're not, notice, root 7, root 3, you can't subtract them. Root 7, root 3, you can't subtract them. They're not like terms, so we'll multiply the outside first. So 2 times, 2 root 7 times root 7 is 2. And root 7 times root 7 is 7, so that's a 14. Minus 2 root 7 times root 3 is a negative 2 root 21. And a negative 3 root 3 times 2 root 7. 3 times 2 is 6, and is a negative root 21. And now we multiply these last two. Negative times negative is a positive 12. 3 times 4 is 12. Root 3 times root 3 is 3. So that gives me a positive 36. So notice I did this multiplication here, up right here, and then I put the final answer. So it saves me up writing down, especially on a quiz. It saves me a lot of workings, extra steps. So do the multiplication on the side, put the final answer in. So 14 plus 36, negative 2 root 21, minus 6 root 21. That gives me 40, 50, minus 8 root 21. And again, they're not like terms that we can't subtract. Now PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S, or PEMDAS. I can't simplify the brackets. We have no exponents, then we got to multiply. So we multiply these two first before we do. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times root 2 is 2 root 2 plus 8 root 2. So we multiplied first, multiplication. Now we'll add and subtract left to right. So that's an 18 and a 10 root 2. You can add these because they're like terms. You can add these because they're like terms, but you can't add these together. They're not alike. Let's continue. More practice on the order of operations. Don't forget the PEMDAS. P-E-M. I keep writing it down, but I know I can't simplify the inside of here or here, so we got to do the exponent first. So root 3 times root 3 is root 9, which is 3. So we did our exponent first. We squared it. Now we have to multiply. So 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times root 2 is 3 root 2. And it's done. Again, we have a PEMDAS. Just as well, write it down. There we go. Can't simplify. You can't simplify. You can't simplify any of these roots. But we have to do the exponents. So 3 root 2 times 3 root 2 is 9. Root 2 times root 2 is 2, so that's an 18. And we have, notice the 3 is squared, not the root 2. So 3 squared is 9 root 2. Notice the root 2 is squared, not the bracket. So root 2 times root 2 is root 4, which is a 2. So we've done the exponents. Again, repeat. The square is on both of these. Right here, the square is only with the 3. And right here, the square is only with the root 2. Now we have to do multiplication division. So that's okay there. That's okay there. But we have to multiply these two first. So 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2 root 2. 2 times 3, 2 times root 2. Like terms, 18 and 6 are like terms. 9 root 2 and 2 root 2. So that gives me a 24 plus 9 plus 2 is 11 root 2. Number 7, we have to do PEMDAS, the order of operations. a root 5 and a root 5, root 5, so we can't do inside the roots. Inside the brackets is done. We got to do the exponents. So any number 0 to 0 is undefined, but any other number to the 0 power is 1. So notice the 0 is with the root 5. So root 5 to the 0 power is 1. Notice that 2 root 5 to the 0 power, so that's a 1. Notice here that 0 is with the 2, so that's a 1 root 5. Just be careful what the exponent of the numbers are. Now we have to multiply. So 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1. And 1 root 5 is root 5. Like terms is 3 plus root 5. I thought I might review the 0 exponent. So note 0 to the 0 is undefined. If you put in the calculator, it will say error. Undefined. And number 8, PEMDAS, let's see, PEMDAS. Can we do inside? Nope. Yes. So let's simplify to root 27. 27 is 9 times 3, so it's square root of 9 is 3, root 3. And can't do this one. Oh, we can do the root 9. So the square root of 9 is 3. So the inside the brackets are done, or the inside of the roots are done. Now we have to do no exponents. Now we have to multiply and divide from left to right. So we multiply. Notice I draw a line underneath them, showing me what I got to multiply. I got to leave this one alone. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times root 3 is 4 root 3. 3 root 3. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Negative 3 times 2 root 3 is a positive 6 root 3. And negative 15. So I have multiplication division down left to right. Now I have to group my like terms. So I got an 8, and I got a minus 3, and a minus 15. I got a 4 root 3. I got a 3 root 3. And I got a 6 root 3. Notice I'm moving these around, but I don't change them because I'm not transposing across an equal sign. So 5, that's a negative 10. And 4, 3, and 6 makes 13. So I add the 3 of those to get negative 10. Add all those to get 13. And I can't add those because they're on like terms. So that brings us to the end of this video. And remember, it's the product of monomial times a binomial and the order of operations. If you like my video, click the like button. Click the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber if you wish. And a notification bell because more videos are coming your way. And if you want to write a comment on my video, go ahead. And visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com. And there you'll have sections. And the sections are me, my degrees and teaching experience. The video section talks about the strategy you're going to use to help you learn your math. And the content section has the topics and the number of videos on those topics on my YouTube channel, Math Fully Explained. And the black font is what's online right now. And the red font is what will be online in the near future. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.